Guys, something really historic is going on right now in last couple of hours, and this may continue for another 24 hours to 48 hours. So yesterday night I have not slept, and I'm really witnessing this history, and it is now 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm sitting here in my kitchen. So I'm just seeing what's going on. So it's basically a fight that has broken out in Twitter between Rihanna and many of the supporters of BJP, and there are so many neutral people who are not politically aligned. They are also talking about it. So there seems to be a major backlash that is building up against Rihanna and the foreigners. So if I right now see the Twitter, I think there are trends. There are trends like India against propaganda. There are like 1.2 million tweets. India together, it has got like 1.1 million tweets. Greta Thunberg exposed 300 million tweets. So this is like something unprecedented that is going on, and I didn't want to miss this history. Now, how is it all related to men's rights movement, and what is so historic about it for the men's movement? What are we going to gain out of it? How is it going to impact us? So that's what is necessary for us to see right now. So in the men's movement, we know what is going on. Lot of men are committing suicide, lot of men are in deep misery, lot of men are suffering. They just don't know what to do. They are like second-class citizens in India, right? Now what is going on? Because the government has made a lot of policies against men, and there are a lot of laws which are against men, and that is what is going on. And men just don't know where to go, how to get help. They are in a very, very deep problem. Now, we have got very strong and powerful enemies. We are not able to fight them effectively. So, before I talk about what is the history that is getting created and how we should be fighting against our enemies, let's first understand who are our enemies. Who is harming men in India directly and indirectly? Of course, it is very clear there is a huge feminist lobby. They have got the National Commission for Women with them. They have a women's ministry. Then they have the media support, and a lot of things are going on, right? So there is a huge feminist lobby. Then the media is very powerful, and it is also most often it takes the feminist line. It doesn't bother to check facts. It doesn't bother to give all the sides of the picture, right? And then the government wants women's votes. Government doesn't want to be seen as anti-woman. So that is why the government also creates a lot of anti-male policies. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself said that, one daughter is equal to 10 sons. Right? So every now and then something pro-women and to some extent anti-men that comes out from the establishment. The court system is also pretty much, insensitive. It is insensitive to, father's access to children. It is insensitive to a lot of false cases that are getting filed. And then there are issues like alimony and all that, where men are just getting screwed. So I just listed a couple of enemies. The feminists, the media, the government, the court system. They are our enemies. Of course, we have to expose them. We have to show them how undemocratic they are. If the government is acting in an undemocratic manner, if the government is not treating all its citizens at an equal level, then there is a problem, and we have to highlight that. However, we are missing something. In this way, if we think, we are missing something. Because a lot of feminists get support from the foreign feminists. They have a global sisterhood going on. So these feminists who are in USA and UK and other countries, they give a lot of support and funds to the feminists in India. And they also control the media in the Western countries. So the feminists, the communists, the leftists, they all are a gang, and it's a global gang. They just don't bother, they don't just accept the national boundaries. They believe that their ideology should go across the boundaries, right? So these feminists and the leftists, they are very well entrenched in the universities. They use all kinds of intimidating techniques. They use all kinds of methods using media to defame you and degrade you and pull you down. They also churn a lot of fake news. And if I see the feminist and the leftist lobby in United States, it is our biggest enemy. In a way, it is our biggest enemy. See, the local feminists in Bangalore and Delhi, you can deal with them. If they are lying, then you can deal with them in a TV debate. In a newspaper article, you can take on them. You can go and protest in various venues. You can deal with the local feminists. That's not a challenge. You can deal with the local media. But when these highly funded feminists in USA, Canada or UK, they are having a very big anti-male agenda, global anti-male agenda, and Indian men are like the punching bag for all of them. And they create a huge propaganda as like, Delhi is the rape capital, and Indian women are the worst in the world. They are being treated in the worst possible way. The Indian women are the worst sufferers in the whole world among women in all countries. This kind of propaganda is huge. I would like you to just ask, Me Too movement. Did the Me Too movement start in India? No. It started in West. It started in USA. And it went on and on for months and months. Then after about an year, this movement came to India. So you see, there is a delay. So they create it, and then it gets exported. And their agents in India who get funded and who have their own organizations and ideologies running, so they use this to propagate it. And you just have to wonder how many men, young men, and have committed suicide due to fake Me Too, fake rape cases. It's a huge human rights violation situation. Think of a word called toxic masculinity. You would be coming across this word in Indian media, YouTube channels. You will come across this phrase in the Indian newspapers also nowadays. But where did it originate? It originated in United States. So they are churning. They are just creating that whole narrative in foreign countries, and they are coming at us. And they have that relentless campaign going on. So they are our big enemies. Now, how do we take on all these enemies? We have like a whole bunch of half a dozen enemies, big time enemies. How do we take on them? See, we cannot just think in a straightforward way and assume that we can just take on these different groups and we have any chance of success. And when I am speaking about fighting against feminists, let me put it the other way around. If you are winning against feminists, then you are making lives of men safer. Men will be safe when you are able to defeat these feminist and leftist groups. That doesn't mean that the right wing is any kind to you, any kinder towards you. Right wing has its own problems and it creates its own issues for men. So we don't have friends whether they are in right or in left in that way, if we see. But the left does lot more damage. Left is lot more vicious, right? So let's just see what is the best way to make our fight against our enemies. We understand we need to take on them. We are taking on them, but what is the best way? Well, here is the key, and I am giving you this. This is a very important key, and this is very simple. See, the best way to fight against your enemies is to wait for the right opportunity and wait for the right time when two of your enemies are fighting with each other, or one of your very big enemy is getting bashed by somebody else. So you wait for that opportunity. And this is historic. Whatever is going on in last couple of hours is historic, because something similar is going on right now. The foreign leftists and Rihanna, Greta Thunberg and other people who has huge backing in Western media, they are getting bashed by normal Indians and also Indian right-wing people. People are just saying in Twitter, what are they saying? They are just saying this is India's internal matter. So please don't interfere in the farmers' issue. You just stay away. So people are writing like Rihanna, most probably first time heard of Indian farmers, started making outrageous comments about the protest. See, the farmers issue is a complex issue. I will not go into it. The farmers' point of view is there, the government's point of view there. There are both pros and cons on both sides. There are all kinds of things are there. It's a complex issue. It's not as straightforward as like the farmers are right and the government is wrong, or the government is right and farmers are wrong. It's not like that. It's a complicated issue. And some kind of a middle path has to be found out. But these feminists, whatever comments they have made from a foreign country, they are getting bashed. Now, why is it important? See, for years, for 7-8 years, I am trying to convince the right-wing people in India, the IT cells, the Bhakts and other people. I tried to convince them online. I also tried to meet them. In fact, I met many of them. I and my teams, we met many of them, and we tried to tell them, like, listen, this foreign media, leftist foreign media is very dangerous. It churns very sophisticated fake and one-sided news. And these foreign universities and these feminist and leftist lobbies, they are very powerful and they are destroying the family system in India. And they are creating huge problems for us. We already have our own problems and they are adding to it. But then the BJP, RSS, the right-wing guys, they are like, oh no, let's do a yoga camp and let's go into our own pet issues. They were all about their own issues. They were stuck there. So it was very frustrating. I talk about, one-sided news in BBC, Guardian, New York Times, Washington Times, CNN, and they just don't give a damn. They just go with the flow. See, this is what has harmed us. Because they are running an agenda for like 4 or 5 decades, churning fake news. Do you know Bangalore was declared as bride burning capital with completely fake data? So every now and then they fund all kinds of fake research and then they publish this research. Like the Thomson Reuters Foundation, it declared that India is the most dangerous country for women. So this is what is going on. And here, the right wing and the BJP and the RSS, they were not bothering about it. So, I was like patiently waiting all these days. That when is the right time? When is the right time? When will be the right opportunity, right time? When I will see a fight happening between India's right wing people and some ordinary people also who are centrists versus the American leftists. And that is what is going on. People are just waking up to this new reality that enough is enough. We don't want foreign interference. Let me get back to a bit of history. Last 7-8 years back, what happened? After Nirbhaya's incident, this entire thing became global, and the way they bashed India, Indian culture, Indian people and Indian government came under huge pressure due to all these international lobbies and the international media and the leftist and feminist, cadres. And in that pressure, the leftists and feminists in India, they dictated the laws from TV studios. And those laws were implemented without any checks and balances. And eventually now, thousands of men are going to prison. Thousands of men are being harassed, dragged to police stations, and they are completely innocent. But they are facing false rape allegations. Their girlfriends are making all these false rape allegations just because the boyfriend wants to run away from a psycho girlfriend. So, this is very interesting what is happening right now, and these particular trends, these trends, India against propaganda and India together and all, this has changed the dynamics. This has changed the landscape now. The Indian right wing and a lot of neutral people, centrist people in India, they are now going to see everything that is coming from foreign countries as in a suspicious manner. They have seen how screwed up United States of America is. The left wing sponsored huge riots in many cities. Then the right wing did something of its own during those inauguration days. So the USA has lost credibility, a lot of credibility. And in a way it is good, because it is USA which was doing all this arm twisting. Our domestic violence laws, our sexual harassment laws, everything is coming from USA. They have drafted it, they have forced it using United Nations Millennial Development Goals and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and all these are excuses, and then they used UN Women to push these laws into India. So what is the recommendation for you right now if you are a men's rights activist, whether you are a MGTOW, men's rights activist, whosoever you are, what you should do now? So my recommendation to you is this, that you should jump in and join the Twitter hashtags and try to promote those Twitter hashtags, because understand one thing very simple. Indian men are the worst victims of propaganda. The kind of negative propaganda that has happened in last 40 years, today you are paying the price. And the foreign feminists and the leftists and the foreign media did play a huge role in creating that narrative, apart from the Indian media. So when you are the biggest victim of propaganda, so this hashtag belongs to you, India against propaganda. Just take ownership of that hashtag and go and blast. Show every sympathy. You should show the sympathy to farmers. Say, I am sympathetic to farmers. Just write #sympathy to farmers. We don't want farmers to starve. We don't want them to, just come to some urban cities and live in slums and make a living. We want their well-being, right? So have sympathy. Just say that sympathy to farmers, but India against propaganda. We don't want propaganda, so we Indians are against propaganda. India against propaganda. That is the hashtag we should bring in. See, we should not be interfering in other countries like USA, UK and other countries, and Russia and other countries. They should not be interfering in our matters. And we have solved so many things in past. So many protests happened. We are able to solve our democracy in whatever way. I believe that it is deeply flawed. There are so many human rights violations are going on, but the foreigners are not really helping. Tomorrow some young boy, 16-year-old young boy commits suicide because a girl in his school makes a false allegation of molestation or rape or sexual assault or whatever. Do you think any Rihanna, any Greta Thunberg will come and sympathize? Do you think any foreign politician or CNN or BBC fellows, they will come and sympathize? No, they will say, this boy died because maybe he is guilty, Or they will just say that it is your problem. Your police, your judiciary is not able to deal with it. What can we do? It is your internal problem. Now, when these people cannot take responsibility, if tomorrow something goes wrong, then how dare they interfere? They get involved, even when they don't know the issues properly. So, India against propaganda, it is a hashtag for men's rights activists. You may like BJP, you may not like BJP, you may like Congress, you may not like Congress party, doesn't matter. But understand that you have a big enemy, that is the feminists and the leftists of USA and Western countries. And if this campaign succeeds in next 24 or 48 hours, these fellows will be destroyed. If they are not destroyed, at least they will go home with a broken nose. Imagine the feminists, some of the biggest feminists of the world, going home with a broken nose. And imagine how the feeling is. Because whatever is happening to Rihanna, others are watching. Sachin Tendulkar tweeted against her. Sachin Tendulkar doesn't do that. He doesn't get involved much into politics. But he tweeted, he said that this is India's internal matter. Our democracy will deal with it. Now there are already cartoons floating around. Sachin Tendulkar had hit a ball and the ball is Rihanna. So the leftist threw a, not a Yorker, but the leftist threw, not a bouncer or a Yorker, leftist threw a Rihanna at Sachin Tendulkar and he hit it. He hit it for a 6. Enjoy. I saw many other, Pragyan Ojha tweeting about it, many other cricket players and other celebrities tweeting about it, even Virat Kohli and Saina Nehwal. I saw them all talking about solidarity with India. So understand that it is not about BJP, Congress, farmers or anything. We have a much bigger enemy, that is the feminist and leftist nexus that is there sitting in USA, and they have broken their family system. They have a huge problem of orphans being produced. They have huge crime rates and drug and other problems. And they are going to export that to us. They are not great role models at all. And just imagine, due to adultery, so many people are getting murdered in India nowadays. So many men are getting murdered. So many children are getting murdered. Who do you think is responsible for this? The Indian feminists and the Western feminists and the leftists. Everybody is together. So let's bring some accountability to them. Let's isolate them. Otherwise, these supply chains, the foreign, the moment we are here in India, we are winning a battle. These feminists get the supplies from foreign countries. They get the foreign media talking about it. And then you are no longer able to defeat the feminists here, because they have the support, the support structure happening, from the foreign lands. So jump into this hashtag and ensure and realize, tell everybody that the main enemy that we have got is the foreign enemy, and the funding has to stop. The funding from the foreign agencies have to stop, and we have to expose what kind of damage that they have done to United States and other countries, and what kind of damage they have already done to us. The fake cases and the false allegations, this is a disease in United States of America which has come to India. And these people say, me too, I make an allegation, you go to prison. This is what they're saying. They're saying, believe all women. Whatever the woman says, it has to be believed. Imagine a woman makes an allegation next to a metro stop or a bus stop or somewhere on the street. And the people around you, they will just say, I believe all women, I have a mother and I have a sister. They may just lynch you. So, let's stand together. let's just go jump in and ensure that this particular big lobby of feminists and leftists of Western countries, they go home with a broken nose. So, have a nice day, guys. So, after a while, maybe I'll go to sleep and let's see what we can do and have fun. Have fun, by the way. Whatever you do, you should have fun. Take care, guys. Bye.